Welcome back to episode 7 of Hot Dog Sports as Jesse checks in which game?
The Milton and Langston Hughes game.
He's put on some high school football. So we missed last week, so we're not too fresh off of the SEC championship dub, right? Go Dogs, take down Texas again. Part 2, it's a whipping. Texas can't beat us. It's actually playing very well to my Hallmark movie I predicted, but we're not going to go there yet.
Alabama didn't make it.
The director made a call, and I don't blame him. Right, got rid of the weak link. But so yeah, SEC championship, Dogs ranked 2, and we find out who the Dogs play on Friday. Right? Yeah, Indiana and Notre Dame. Mm-hmm. So some good football is coming up this week, but with us not, doing a podcast last week, we need to touch up on some things. So we're going to kind of dive right into the Dogs. Where does this win in the Kirby Smart era rank for you guys?
It's a 1A, 1B between that and the Natty win over Bama to me, just because of the severe difference in talent, and I feel like just the resiliency and everything that had to go on in that game. I'll give the Natty 1A, and I will give this game 1B.
Okay, so this is a number 1 game.
Oh yeah, I think it's one of his best wins since he's been there.
I agree. I think it's top 3 for me. I think 1 is always going to go to the Bama Georgia, like the 40-year drought ends for me. And then it's tied at second between Texas and that, and then the Ohio State and Georgia game as well, man. Like I think obviously there was a lot of talent on that field, and you can say that with the Brock Bowers and Ladd McConkey ordeal, but I mean. If Georgia didn't win that game, everyone would look at Ryan Day differently today because they would have blown out TCU as well. So to me, like that's one of Kirby Smart's best wins as well, right? It finally put the Big Ten back where they belonged with all those Ohio State fans.
So what's your 1 game? If you got to rank them right now, what's Kirby's number 1 game?
It's the Alabama Georgia game in 2021.
So what takes it for 2? This one and the Ryan Day one?
They're tied, man. I'll be honest. They're tied to me because there's so many like factors and differences. But like that game was like both of them are the same. In a way, like we're down, right? Like that one was more of an offensive battle. This one was more of a defensive battle, even though I thought both offenses played well. I know we're about to get in the game in a second, so I'm going to hold my opinions there real fast. But, I mean, at the end of the day, a running quarterback won both of those games.
Yes, he did. Go ahead, buddy.
It's probably like 3rd to me. I think that the first Natty was probably number 1, and then the Ohio State game, to me, was an even better game than the first Natty. It just didn't mean as much as the first Natty against Bama. I mean, that's the biggest game. I mean, because that, like I said, that was like, whoa, we're good at football. And then the Ohio State game, though, that was like the most fun I've ever had watching a football game. Just
So what's your 1 game?
It's the Natty game. It's the first Natty against Bama because it was a Natty, but. The Ohio State, like that Ohio State game, that was a better football game. That was like the best football game I've seen in probably like the toughest circumstances. Because you look back on that Ohio State team, like, bro, like they had CJ Stroud.
Yeah.
So they had Garrett Wilson. They had like, Marvin Harris. They had like, dude. Or they get Egbuka. They had the Egbuka kid. Like Chris Olave. Like they were loaded, bro. They were but I will say like. That was probably number 3, beating Texas the second time because of the circumstances.
Yeah. That first Natty to me, I was so happy we won, but for some reason, I just didn't feel complete enough. Like I think it was because
we didn't win the SEC.
We didn't win the SEC. Yeah. And for me, that is such a statement.
And we really split with them that year.
We split, and it felt kind of like I didn't cry after we won the Natty and broke the drought in the first year. When we went undefeated and beat TCU, for me, for some reason, it just felt more complete. Like it was just like we did it.
It did, but dude, like you can't. I don't know. Like I'm like always torn between I want Georgia to blow people out because I'm like I just want to be like that much better than everybody else. But the flip side of that is, I get kind of tired of watching games where that happens. You know what I'm saying? Like I like watching football. I
agree to that point.
I just hate that these teams can compete.
But the amount of stress this team has put me through this year, with every game having to be a close game, I would like to just sit back and relax a blowout or watch a blowout for just once.
I think that's what makes it fun. Like the other day I was around some Tech fans, and they're good folk. Like I actually
They
genuinely
mean
around
well.
them, and
My wife.
he was like, "Man, Georgia fans, I mean, y'all are just the luckiest team ever." And he brings up the 2 fumbles this year and whatnot. And like my point was, you say that, but like we used to say that about Alabama with Nick Saban from 09 to like literally till he retired, right? Like it's just like when you compete as a whole unit consistently, right? And Kirby said this is the most mentally tough team he's probably ever had. Like you're gonna find ways to win.
Yeah.
All right, give the mic to Brandon. Brandon, do you still stand on not thinking ETN is one of the best backs we've had since 2017 era?
Yes. I think he's good, but I mean, I would rather have Kendall Milton. I'd rather have Dejon Edwards. I'd rather have both of them.
With the Dejon Edwards, I'm going to disagree with you, Brandon. I'd agree probably. Kendall Milton, I could see. I even like Kenny McIntosh. a lot
Kenny
as well.
McIntosh.
I love
absolutely.
McIntosh. He was awesome, man.
Don't get me wrong,
But I'm
ETN is very good, but if we need a running
Dude.
back who's got to go downhill and get 3 yards guaranteed, ETN's not that guy.
No, it's fine. He just puts the ball in the end zone.
And he's MVP, right?
The only time he's done it this year.
It was against the best teams we played.
I mean, I agree. I think he's good, but I don't
Big
think
moment.
I don't think he's as good as everybody thinks he is.
That's
I
fine.
think
He
he's
just
good.
shows up in the big moments when you need him.
Touchdown
That
Milton.
matters. But yeah, no, I think Etienne's a lot closer to DeAndre Swift. I've told you this than I think people give him credit for.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of ETN. I'm a huge fan of ETN. Like I love his balance, his vision, his power. I mean, like he hit a couple home runs. Like that's something we don't see much now. Those home runs did come in the second half, and I'm going to elaborate more why I think those home runs happened. You guys know why I think they happened. But Jesse, what do you think about ETN? I know you're a huge Nate Frazier guy. We're big Nate Frazier guys. We love Nate Frazier. He's a man. He runs like he's Sonic the Hedgehog. But to me, ETN is still just has the aura as the best back.
I think Nate Frazier is the best running back we have on the roster. The flip side of that is that ETN is the most valuable weapon we have on offense, like the whole offense. Because Nate Frazier might be a better running back, but he also fumbles and
A lot.
and we saw like the patience. Like I think the downhill has its place, but also I think Frazier misses a lot of holes because he's not patient enough. And I think ETN, whereas he's not going to be like as downhill as Nate Frazier,
His center of gravity's better.
well, he just waits, and we saw you're gonna talk about it, but that's why that was so deadly in the second half. Whereas in the first half, he couldn't do anything because there was no decision making happening.
There is no.
I'm so glad you said that because I was with Coach Moore here during the SEC championship game, and all I heard the whole time was, "God, Nate Frazier's so much better, bro. He needs to be in the game like he was." And I was like, you know what? I see his perspective, right? Because if you need 2 yards, like I see why Nate Frazier is important, right? He's just gonna run downhill and get you those 2 yards. But then like he fumbled the ball, then Etienne took off, and we kind of all looked at Jesse, and Jesse was just like, yeah.
That's how I watched at home, and they coach on the sideline.
That's.
I will say, first drive of the game though, I don't the quarterback sneak right there. Like I don't mind them calling quarterback sneak, but it was Nate Carson Beck looked scared. He backed up first. I would have much rather than just turn around and hand that ball off to Nate Frazier and just be like, man, let our running back get it.
Yeah, no, I mean, but you could see it too. Like there was the one run in the first half where Etienne got the ball, and as soon as he got the ball, he immediately got hit by a lineman. But even when he got hit,
back around.
he still spun up. Like his second effort's kind of like the whole.
He just looks slow.
I'm not going to go down.
He looks slow.
I'm not going to say he's slow, but
well,
it does.
No, I mean, like I'm not saying he's slow, but I'm saying in that game, especially the first half, he looked slow. Like he looked like he wasn't confident in running the ball. You know what I'm saying? And they waited all the way up until like the game started to announce that he was going to be going.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's also dinged up a little bit.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know how healthy that guy is. That's why, like, you haven't seen the best him you've been able to see this year. And that bye is going to be super important because you're going to lean on that guy.
He still won the MVP.
Yeah, I'm just going to be honest with you. I mean, you're going to have to lean on him.
So do you think?
No,
excuse me.
Dalen Everett did, you fake fan. My God.
So Dalen Everett did win the
Yeah,
MVP, but
did.
even Kirby Smart said in his presser he thought Etienne deserved it.
Yeah, well, Kirby's not giving the awards.
Kirby's not giving the awards. Right. So that was my confusion, though, because that's right. Because Everett did.
No, he
that,
called you a fake fan.
He did call me a
You
fake
heard that,
fan.
right?
But, I mean, this dude thinks he knows combat sports.
He comes to your house to watch the game,
Do you
But
think?
you're the fake fan.
Do you think he knows combat sports?
Yeah,
I
no.
can't wait for that moment of the show.
Oh, it's coming.
He doesn't have a mic, so we can't hear him.
Yeah, they can't hear him. What a loser.
All right, what's next?
Okay. Fake punt. Where does that rank in one of the best calls in the Kirby Smart era?
You got it.
No, dude.
Put your computer down.
I,
Stop being a loser.
I thought it was it definitely took a set of nuts to do that.
Bro, this is a PG-13 podcast.
I mean,
Take a lap, Junior.
Peanuts.
peanuts, yes,
15
peanuts.
peanuts.
I mean, I would say it's probably, as far as in the moment and all that, it's probably like top 2. I'd say
What does it compete with? Do you have any?
it's not number 2. It's not number 2.
So you think it's number 1 call?
Just because I mean, who
Sounds
does
kinda
that?
fake Spanish if
Who
you don't know any of the
who
play
does
calls.
that when I mean it's been a field position game the whole game. Our defense is playing really great. Their defense was playing pretty solid. And I'm pretty sure that was right after
Thorson got hurt.
Yes. So obviously you're worried about arguably one of the best weapons in the country, and he should have won best punter of the year, but we're not going to get into that just yet. I mean, given all the circumstances, I mean, dude, that's a crazy play call. And just in the moment, number 1.
No, I absolutely agree. Like, as far as like just like what it takes to call that in the moment, it's definitely the best play. But like, as far as like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna remember that forever. Like, it's always gonna be tied for first place for me, and like the call that ties it for, just because like I'll never forget the moment of it, is the 2017 game flea flicker against Mississippi State.
Yeah.
Like, I'll never forget that. Like
that's
the
a call.
like, and not because like it was a 0-0 ball game, but like it was just like everything that like, oh, is Georgia legit, or are they gonna beat Mississippi State that year? So like it's up there for me, but I definitely think it's probably number 1, just as far as implications that it had.
Or you could go back to the same year, 2017 Rose Bowl. The wild dog left to Sony
Yeah.
Michel to win the
Yeah.
game.
So we talked about this.
Yeah.
Which I guess is what sparked this being written down. Because I said that I thought that was might be the greatest play call Kirby Smart has ever made. But there are several other moments that stick out, like the wild dog rolling out there, Jake Fromm's blocking, scored a touchdown. I think back to like Kirby's first year, we're losing to Missouri on the road. Jacob Eason hits Isaiah McKenzie down the seam, win the game.
4th and 10.
Yeah, 4th and 10, right?
Yeah,
Win the game.
that's a good one too.
That was dope.
But there was no this was a very much larger scale and
also
a
just
lot more on the line in this game.
like the wits of it all. Like your punter just went out. You put the guy, the next guy up in there.
It's not even the backup punter back there.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, Ham. This
but
was
I
the
don't.
third
Are
string
we
punter.
sure that kid's not the backup punter?
Yeah,
No, it's not.
Miller. It's
It's Miller.
Drew Miller, Andrew Miller, whatever his name is, the kid that was the number 1 punter coming out of high school.
Okay.
And
All I know
he's
is
lethal,
that-
by the way.
It might be the greatest play call just because nobody and we made this point at the house when we were watching together. Nobody saw that coming.
No.
We were all like, "What?" Like,
Yeah.
there's no way that they just called that right there.
No. And I like the idea of it, that it happens in the SEC championship, because you go back to 2018, and I have insider information on this too. Fields wasn't supposed to take the direct snap in 2018, but he selfishly does it because he's not a winner. And he does it, and like against Alabama, and everyone's like, oh, Kirby, what are you doing? Right. And then in the SEC championship years later, now he looks like one of the greatest geniuses. But at the same time, like, I think what's won Georgia at a higher level, people don't realize, is those special teams moments. Right.
Yeah.
Like I go back to
All phases.
the Peach Bowl against Ohio State. He calls a timeout before Ryan Day can get the fake off. Like, that
Oh,
whole
yeah.
game's
And that would have
different.
scored.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they would have got the first down
yeah.
there. Like, so, like, special teams, how he's always emphasized, has definitely won us those closer games.
Yeah, that was definitely huge.
I mean, that's what Kirby talks about, man. The special teams is important.
Yes.
Do
I
something
mean,
like
just
that.
like to catch them on their heels right there in that big of a moment, and also like to show everybody, like, we were playing to win this game.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of talk, which is why that will never go down as the greatest win either for me, because it was like Ohio State, it was you win or you go home. And in the national championship is right, like, that's for all the marbles. Georgia lost that game. You're still in the 12-team playoff. It's
Yeah.
not like it's over, And so it wouldn't match up in that regard. But the fact that he called that play as if like we're going to win this game. We're playing to win.
Yeah.
And also you're leaning on your defense, right? Like, I have so much confidence confidence in our defense because they balled out.
Yeah, if we don't make it, now defense has got their back against the wall. But
I think more and more in today's times, especially like in the NFL and all that, special teams is such a freaking weapon if you can utilize it. Like if you look at the Cowboys with Brendan Aubrey, that dude can make a 65-yarder with ease. Like if you're in a bind and you have to like, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
a good and a great punter, like what Thorson's done in all those years. Like when Tennessee came to Athens and he does that like punt where he downs it on the 1 yard
yeah,
line.
he kicked it like 60,
Yeah.
70 yards, something
Dude,
like that.
if
Flip
you
the
had
field.
those weapons are so
Yeah.
valuable, and those can win you football games in the blink of an eye.
Well, that's why Peyton Woodring's my favorite player.
Yeah, Woody's a stud.
Woody,
Him and Rodrigo
Woody.
are like
God,
right
I hope
there
I
for me.
I hope I get his jersey, dude. I love Woodring, man. He's so nasty. Oh man. Okay. Now, hold this.
Oh no.
Here we go.
The next guy I want to talk about.
What are you doing? Oh no. Oh, you're pulling out his card? What a loser.
Put your stock in Gunner Stockton. All right. All I'm gonna say is this guy.
I don't even know if the camera saw it.
Oh, we definitely saw it. Trust me. It said 1.5 thing. Gunner Stockton won us the game, and I want to look right at you, Jesse Moore. And I want to.
$100
I want
sweatshirt.
to. I want to bring up every clip of your disrespect on my guy number 14. And I'm not gonna bring DB into this because DB called me right away as soon as it happened. As soon as Gunner Stockton came out there with his little moxie and his thick thighs, and he ran down that daggum Texas defense, I got a call. He said, "Bo, you might be right." Right?
I didn't say you might be. I said you were.
He said I was. I was being modest.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, legend in himself for what he did in that game, right? Going forward, obviously, job's not done, job's not complete. Opinions can change moving forward depending on how he plays, right? But just what he did alone in that game made him a dog legend. Getting your helmet knocked off, trucking guys, standing up, talking smack in their faces. I mean, letting it rip. Now, obviously, the play call was very vanilla for him because it was like, hey, we're bringing you in. This is like, we're going to keep this very basic for you. Sorry, we're having to play you for pretty much the first time in like the game with the high implications of making, the playoffs because now you got Florida State fans going, oh, dogs don't need to be in it because their quarterback's out. Their quarterback's hurt, this and that. Well, it's not Brock Glenn, and it's obviously Gunner Stockton knows how to win a freaking ball game. And Kirby Smart ended that game saying, this kid is special. The dude choked up, walked off. Kid's a winner.
Yeah, just look at all of his high school stats and everything. I mean, that's all you really need to see. I mean, proof is in the pudding. The kid knows how to go out there and play ball. Like that hit he took where he got decapitated and he just stands right back up and just, I mean, dude, dog.
Dude, he was dead.
I wish they would have let him throw it more because that first drive where he threw that just laser of a pass to Arian Smith, he might have a better arm than Beck. He's definitely a better runner, and I think he gives us more avenues possibly to victory because now people have to focus on this kid's going to run on us. And that's something you didn't have to worry about as much with Beck. You sit back there, you drop as many as you want to. You're going to have to watch Gunner Stockton. He'll take off on you and put some yards on the board in a hurry.
Absolutely. When you look at the games Beck did do good, he ran the ball well.
Yeah.
Right? It kept defensive guessing. But I think what I'm more excited to look forward to is, right, this is Bobo's guy.
Yeah.
This is who Mike Bobo wanted.
That's who he
So
wanted.
there is no more excuses I can think for Mike Bobo going forward with play calling, right? If he can't do it with the guy he wanted when he was at South Carolina, that he got to commit to South Carolina at a time, then Bobo may not be it. But going back to Gunner himself, right, like, I mean, he laid the shoulder on that guy. I forget what Texas player it was to get the first down, and he came up chirping.
You
and
loved it.
And I thought to myself, I want that.
Yeah.
I want that.
Yeah.
I love that. That's it. That's the one. And now as far as like the vanilla offense, I'm really excited to see the schemes and designs they do make for them going forward.
They got 3 weeks.
They've had 3 weeks, and I think what people don't realize as well is like chances are, I'm making a call early here before we get into it, but I do think like Gunner's going to play a very similar defense again in Notre Dame. It's going to be a physical football game.
Yeah.
Again, Loud Texas defense was physical, and I think that's going to be the ultimate test for him, right? Now, the last time a quarterback got hurt, and we had to go to Notre Dame, it was a name not many people knew about, and he put on a show. So, the story writers are writing a little. It is a little Hallmarkish, but you are right there.
We'll see. We'll see how the story ends. Unfortunately, a Hallmark movie can go south quick.
Yeah, that was a good game by Gunner.
All game.
Yeah. No, I get kid looked sharp. He looked ready. That's what I was most worried about. Is he going to be ready? There's no excuses if you're not ready. You've been there forever. He looked ready. Drove him down the field. Made some mistakes just from lack of experience, though.
They were young mistakes.
Yeah, holding the ball too long. He's got to learn to slide. I get he's a big kid and he can hit, but he's longevity, right? He's got to learn to slide. You can only take so many of those hits that he took at the end of that game.
I don't know.
No, I don't care what you say.
I don't know.
You can ask anybody. You can only take so many of those types of hits before you're.
The one from the Texas, the one at the end of the game.
That's what I'm saying.
You can't take.
You can't. You've got maybe.
No,
four
I
or
mean
five
not
of those
unless
in
you
you.
want a one-way ticket to CTE, right? But I'm a fan of the
Bro, he would-
physicality running.
No,
like a
I love
fullback.
it. I love it. And there's times you're going out of bounds. By all means, you're running right up the gut though, bro. And I get why he didn't slide there. You want to get first down, right?
Dude, he was looking for the end zone.
Yeah, but he's just got to learn the longevity aspect of it. Because also we were very fortunate he held onto that football. Don't know how he held onto that football. Very fortunate that he did.
DGD.
Because he could have. I mean, if he fumbles the ball, that's game.
A
But
little too early.
Yeah.
A little too early.
But he will go down as a legend for that win. We will know by the end of this run whether or not he's the guy next year. So I'm not gonna give you your $100 yet.
No, you can't.
Okay.
You can't. Because
I wouldn't mind giving you $100 because if I owe you $100 next year, then we know for sure that this is the guy moving forward. That he's good enough to win.
I think, dude, I just think now you're playing 11 versus 11 instead of 10 versus 11. And what I mean by that is when you get to the red zone, now you can start scheming up run calls with the quarterback, and where you have now the running back as an extra blocker for you, right? And that's why Tebow was so successful. And you see these that's why Haynes King dogged us up so much.
I will say this with him, they're gonna have to do quicker routes. He's not gonna be able to stand in the pocket and throw the ball downfield like Beck could. He has a big arm, but the windup's huge, right? His game
have a bigger one.
His game is zone reads, play action,
Waggle out.
and it needs to be strictly progression based.
But dude, I'm telling you, I think the dude does have the strongest arm on the team.
Well, I believe he has a cannon, but dude, it's
you can throw
it's a huge windup.
Well, I was talking to Chipolletti about it, about how would you scheme up with a guy like that? He's like, you do exactly what you just did with the underneath, and you stack the box, and you start going under center, and then you start running play actions, and the guy's got a hose.
Yeah, you can throw it deep.
You get people baited up.
Yeah.
Now you're keying in on the 11 versus
It's
11
gonna
with the
force.
quarterback
It's gonna
running.
force. It's gonna force one-on-ones because, like I said, they can't drop backers into coverage anymore. And that's weird. You were talking about ETN. We were talking about ETN couldn't run the ball in the
Correct.
first half.
Yep. Good.
That's why he could in the second half. If you go watch the tape, first half, if Beck's turning around at the snap, those linebackers are just crashing.
They're passing by back.
Yeah, they're just crashing because they're well, it's a handoff. They're
Right.
We weren't doing play action, and so they were just turning around and hand the ball off. Those linebackers crash. Second half, Gunner starts keeping the ball, but we're running play actions with those linebackers. They're waiting because they have to make a decision. They don't want to make the wrong decision. That second allows ETN to find the hole.
Yep.
Boom, and he's gone.
And it's one less guy stacked in the box.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a whole nother threat. And I think
And Beck, we did say too, really early on in that first drive, for Georgia, Beck missed. I guess it wasn't a called RPO, but Beck turned around and handed the ball off, and it was the whole left side of
wide
the
open.
defense and offense just washed down. And we were like, dude, if he keeps that ball, he's running 20 yards untouched.
so. The best teams struggle with notoriously running quarterbacks.
Yeah.
And we've had such a tough season not being overly productive, especially not off the rip with our offense. And our defense has had their back against the wall in so many games and opportunities that I think now the pieces are just going to come together. And I think our offense is going to click and our defense isn't going to have to be just fighting for their life nonstop. And I think we're going to just, dare I say, catwalk. Now, I am a little nervous about Notre Dame, especially because it's just Gunner's first start.
It's Marcus Freeman. He's a defensive-minded guy.
He's a
He
defensive.
wants
yes.
physicality. That's just how he's always been like that.
Yeah,
That's,
very much so.
Yeah.
And that's what, worries me. And now they're going to, they're going to try to throw some different looks at Gunner. But I just think it's harder to scheme a guy that can run, especially as well as Gunner does. Such a physical runner, and I just love that.
Well, it's not just that either, right? So you have 12 and a half games worth of film on the Georgia offense where it's ran by Beck. You have a half where the offense was vanilla with Gunner Stockton.
Yeah, they're gonna have to change.
Like,
they're gonna have to open it up.
you-
a
They were
little
more
you
bit.
productive, though.
But you don't. But that my thing is for Notre Dame, that's more of a challenge than people realize.
Yes.
You don't know what's going to be thrown your way. You don't know what they're going to do. Right? It's going to be a game where like Notre Dame's going to have to make adjustments drive by drive, and it's hard to win football games when you're doing that constantly.
Well,
I agree.
if Georgia's just gonna stack the box and like you're not gonna beat us running the ball. But are we sure we're playing Notre Dame? I mean, Indiana's got a good.
This
football
is
team
true.
this year.
Now, this is true. Signetti, I know it's
The
DB's
fact
favorite.
that Signetti won Coach of the Year
Sorry.
is stupid.
That was dumb.
I mean, are
Good.
you
Yeah.
freaking kidding
Yeah,
me?
that was stupid.
And while we're on the subject
Kirby
of
Smart
awards,
deserved it.
I stand by what I said. Travis Hunter does not deserve the Heisman. It was a publicity award this year. Stupid.
They're scared of Dion, man.
Yeah, shouldn't have won number one receiver in the country. That's a joke. I
Yeah,
mean, Nash
Yeah.
led the country
Nash got
in every
hosed.
category, and you don't win receiver. I mean, that's just
Look, and Travis Hunter.
Dion's a great coach. What
Tr-
can you say? You
tr-
can't hate the kid for having a phenomenal coach.
Travis Hunter is a generational talent.
give
Deion
DB that
Sanders.
mic right now.
Deion Sanders is a fantastic publicity stunt, and he's doing a great job bringing in some money for Colorado to help pay for their next coach for the next 5 years because Deion's going to leave wherever his son's going.
Yeah. Well, it boils down to this, and not to cut you off here, but if you put Genty on Colorado, I think Colorado might have gone undefeated with Genty on that team.
nah.
If you put Travis Hunter on Boise State, they're not making the playoff, and they're a vanilla team. They're not nowhere near what they were. Genty is a generational talent, and the fact that he didn't win the Heisman this year, I'm not so sure a running back will ever win the Heisman again.
Yeah,
It's hard to make a case for it.
it's hard.
Very hard.
It's hard. Travis Hunter is without a doubt one of the better athletes we've seen in college football in a long time. Like, no discredit.
greatest.
The kid, not the greatest is a stretch, right?
Get out of
The greatest is a stretch. It is.
he's the greatest?
I mean,
He
Jesse
played
couldn't
both
tell
ways.
you. Jesse couldn't tell you why he's the greatest because Jesse's like Skip Bayless. He goes on ESPN and he looks up things, and that's fine. You have no credibility, and most of the people that watch this understand that. Now, as far as Deion Sanders goes, this is what I'm gonna say. I'm a little worried about Deion's coaching career moving forward because if you have 1-1 and 1-2 picks, like first round, right? First round, you have the number 1, number 2 pick, and you go 9-3. That's a peak. That's a peak. I don't care who you are. If Kirby Smart had the number 1 and 2 pick in this year's draft, right, and he went 9-3, what would we be saying about Kirby?
He sucks.
Right. And now here's what Jesse's about to say. They were 1-10 2 years ago. That's great. It's a different era. Kids can transfer whenever they want. And be thankful they can because I'm telling you, Deion can't recruit.
Juju Lewis,
Fantastic.
Travis Hunter.
Well, Travis Hunter, again, I've told you this, but you don't accept it. Travis Hunter is a Barstool $3 million deal.
Juju Lewis.
That's fine. Juju Lewis is a bust waiting to happen, but we don't want to have that
Cormonic McLean.
conversation.
Wow.
That's fine, though.
Crazy.
That's okay. Juju Lewis won a title or is about to win a title based off of defense. Offensive stats aren't great. But that's-
Jordan Seaton. Isn't that the kid's name? The offensive lineman they have?
You don't
The
even
number one
know.
offensive
You
lineman?
don't even know.
I think it's Jordan Seaton.
You
They got
don't
the number
even
one offensive
know,
lineman
dude.
last year.
You don't even know.
I didn't know.
That's what's hilarious.
I know Travis Hunter won multiple awards because Deion Sanders is the greatest coach ever.
That's fine, dude. This is the one thing.
He's the greatest football to
look,
ever
look,
football.
So Coach Moore says this so he can try to get under his skin, and it's working. But like I said, the guy's got no credibility. He's little-minded, and he's doing this because we make fun of him all the time for how not smart he is
Oh, he's talking
about
about me.
football.
I thought he was talking about Deion.
No,
I he's talking about Deion.
It's fine. We'll let him have his moment. It's kind of his Make-A-Wish thing. It's fine. It is what it is.
No way.
All right, well, yeah, DB don't
That's
play
my
around.
friend, by the way.
But Deion, man, I don't.
Dude, he's great at publicity, dude.
He's so good at publicity. He's so good at publicity.
Yeah, Deion's good. Deion's great. Colorado's next up. Deion's not going anywhere, guys. He just got Juju Lewis.
Hey, Jesse, $100. They don't win 10 games next year. Since
$100
you're so
they don't win
confident.
10 games.
Yeah, since you're so confident.
Bro, I got $100 that they win the Big 12.
Oh,
Shake on it right now.
Yeah.
Shaking right now.
Yes, sir.
Is Jesse going to be down 200, or could he be up 200, or
Wait,
can he
you need
split
to call
even?
and ask
Let's
Mary
find out.
first.
Wow.
Wow.
That'll do it. That'll do it right
Hey,
there.
Guess
You
what?
saw it
First
first.
game of the year next year, they play Georgia Tech, and Georgia Tech's going to
Oh,
beat them.
oh my
God. They play
Tech first game of the year next year? Where at?
It's in Boulder, but who cares?
Yeah,
The
who
Jackets
cares?
are going to go in there and
All right,
smoke
I
'em.
want to say this, and then we're going to change topic. Travis Hunter, what he did playing both sides of the ball was great.
Amazing.
He's good at both sides of the ball, but that's because Colorado needed him to be on both sides of the ball. Malachi Starks could play on both sides of the ball. Georgia doesn't need him to. KJ Bolden can play both sides of the ball. Georgia doesn't need him to.
Mhm.
If KJ or Malachi were in Travis Hunter's position,
Dude, Chaz
they had done the
Chambliss.
same thing.
Chaz Chambliss played both sides of the ball.
Yeah, one play a game.
But he did.
So snaps are a stat now?
Huh?
Oh,
Snaps are a stat now?
get him, DB.
No,
Get him.
the 10
All right.
touchdowns and 4 interceptions.
Oh, that's a stat. So, question: are those 4 picks top of like the leaderboard for
No, it's
DBs?
actually like
No.
5
Okay, are touchdowns top
Hey,
of
they lead
leaderboard
Power
for a
Four,
receiver?
though.
Yeah, they lead Power 4.
At least
Oh,
the Power
come-
4.
Yeah, you play in the worst conference in the league. You let the team that's supposed to finish last win it all.
That's true. They did do that.
Yeah, exactly.
Genty-
Dang, I forgot
Genty's-
Arizona State was a
Genty's
thing.
impact was more meaningful than Travis Hunter. The publicity stunt for Travis Hunter was great, but the fact that you don't give it to Genty when he's chasing a historical feat. This is every we've seen running backs. Mark Ingram won the Heisman with 1,600 rushing yards. 1,600 rushing yards. Travis Hunter's Ashton Genty's already almost doubled that
I'll put it this way: if Genty didn't exist, I would say Travis Hunter deserved to
easily.
win it. I really do.
Nah, Scatterbush should have gotten second. Genty shouldn't have even been top 4.
Okay, now he's just out.
my
Like,
God.
No, I'm just lying.
So-
Genty should have won it. I genuinely do think Genty should have won it because, like you said, it needs to be an award for if that kid wasn't on that team would be nowhere near as good.
Do wins not matter anymore?
Wins should matter.
I thought wins
used to matter
for the Heisman.
Yeah,
legit. I felt like
Also, Genty got to play in a whole extra game
Wins
too.
used to
That should
on the
matter.
Heisman.
But yeah, but he also
should be-
didn't play 6 games in the fourth quarter.
Yeah,
He also balled out against the number 1 team, Oregon.
200 yards and 3.
Yeah,
games.
but Travis Hunter didn't play well against Nebraska.
Did it play well? Wait, is that right?
Hey, Dion went to bed too late that week. He got back on his sleep track, and they went back to winning.
Dion, you're
And
cool.
then Kansas, they had to go to Kansas.
You're
And
good
Kansas
publicity.
played dirty football. Kansas
Dion's
played
cool.
dirty
Oh,
football.
He's a good publicity stunt, but I just as a coach, it's nothing but publicity.
for his kids. I always will. Like his players.
Yeah.
I will always.
Oh,
I
he
will
stands
always
up.
Respect that.
He stands up.
for his
He
players.
definitely stands up. Yeah, he stands up. Yes,
Hey,
sir.
someone has a question.
Did y'all see
Speak
that? Thank you, Brandon. Did y'all see that? Travis Hunter apparently does not take any of the NIL money from Colorado. Colorado's NIL fund.
That's what he just said.
Yeah.
He just said
They
he's a
don't-
$3 million
Okay.
barstool.
Yeah, so that's why he doesn't take anything
what I
from
was-
Colorado because he takes money from Barstool, buffoon.
Why is that a buffoon thing? I'm not a buffoon. I'm saying he doesn't.
Clearly, you didn't listen to DB's remarks.
Go ahead,
Ours
Jesse.
supposed
Go
to be
ahead, Jesse.
friends.
Go ahead.
You should listen to your friends.
Go ahead, Jesse.
Told you it was gonna be a long night. I warned you.
I heard DB say that.
I think it is.
I was getting to that point. He does not take any
My
money from
apologies.
the Colorado NIL fund because he obviously has enough NIL coming from elsewhere. But he, on top of that, apparently pays he takes his own NIL money and pays 10 to 15 players on the team to cover their NIL
That's what
so that the school doesn't have to do
Yeah,
it.
absolutely.
You
But
should have paid better players.
I don't care what you say, Travis Hunter, it seems like a great kid.
no, that is an awesome.
Without a doubt.
He seems like a great kid.
He's a great guy.
Now he's in a pickle, and I'll just go and say this because the woman he's going to marry is going to leave
Okay.
him 5 years and take out his
All right,
money.
we won't attack her,
No,
but yes.
no, dude. Let me tell you something.
The way she did when he was at that fan meet and greet,
Okay.
dude, he just won the Heisman. Let him have his
Yeah,
moment.
Dion has to tell you to stand up, woman. The boy just won the Heisman. Stand up.
Yeah, okay.
Probably because he didn't deserve it.
She's a Genty fan.
She was cheering for Genty.
She
too,
bet on
man.
Genty.
Even Hunter's girlfriend knew he didn't deserve it. Sorry. Maybe I should clip that. That'd be a good clip, right? Let's clip
Yes,
that.
I
Let's clip
think
that.
so.
See if we can get that out there. Get some hate. I'm gonna send that to T-Mac. T-Mac's gonna love that. But all right, another form of recruiting. Because yes, I do think Travis Hunter did make the right choice going to play for Deion Sanders because he's one of the greatest to do it on both sides of the ball. Right? Cornerback, receiver. So that's why Travis Hunter followed Deion. So kudos to Dion for being able to recruit another guy that's a mini him.
Just not the best.
Now let's talk about the new guy on the block, who's not really a new guy, kind of an old guy, who I think is going to make a huge impact. Bill Belichick, who's rolled into the University of North Carolina.
Who did he used to coach for?
You've got
My gosh, dude.
where
I love your
I know he tried to get with the Falcons. They didn't want him though.
That's
so
not true.
so Bill Belichick is now already. They've gone up from what, $6 million in NIL to now $20 million, and he's got Michael Jordan backing him. Dude, Belichick is about to run through the ACC.
Nope, Tech's going to win the ACC.
All right,
After they lose to Colorado in week 1. They have a great run after that. SMU season.
No,
Make a quarterback switch. Hanks Keen, I don't know, not the guy. Philo comes in, takes them on a tear. They lose to Georgia the last game of the year, win the ACC championship. Georgia has to play them again.
Before you speak, I actually want this to be looked up. How many Super Bowls does Belichick have?
6.
6.
What's the most?
Tom Brady.
What's the most
7, Tom Brady.
Like as a coach?
as a coach?
Ooh, I mean, maybe Belichick.
And maybe 6.
He's close.
So he's a proven coach.
Oh, he did. Well, did he win any without Tom Brady? Tom Brady won one without him.
And Tom
Yeah,
Brady
but that
did
first
more.
one, he won it with Tom Brady, but he would have won it with
Belichick
Drew
has
Bledsoe.
6. The next closest is 4.
Well, they were losing at one point, and then Tom Brady came in, so I don't know.
Look, Brady's definitely the man.
Oh yeah, Brady.
Yeah, but Brady also.
Belichick also could have been a cancer
So thi-
to the team.
this
but
is why-
he helped the whole case.
This is why I love the Belichick. All right, Texas fans, you're about to be in a really bad position, and you have no idea. All right.
Who?
Oh,
Texas.
Texas fans.
Yes, dig in.
So Texas or North Carolina has $20 million in NIL. Who are the Mannings super close to again? Remind me one more time. Who they like hanging out and having them on their show all the time? Bill Belichick.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, the rumors already started, but I'm hearing a $3.5 million deal to Arch Manning from Bill Belichick has already kind of been thrown his way to that family. And it would not, I'm serious when I say this, it would not surprise me if Arch Manning went and played for Bill Belichick.
He looked good in Carolina blue.
He looked very good. And then after all these Texas fans hated on Quinn Ewers, and he doesn't go to the draft because everyone's telling him to take another year, and he still hasn't said out loud what he's doing. And then he transfer out.
Imagine Texas is
and then
tough with no quarterback.
Right. So now Texas fans who have begged for this kid leaves him dry. The quarterback you hated leaves. Bad spot. That being said, I think Belichick, he's got all the funds, and that's why he did it.
Give him a Willis back.
He's awesome. He's obviously a good coach. He's got a good football mind. I think part of the reason too, and the reason his son he loves, he did hire his son as part of the staff. It's a little concerning to me, but at the end of the day, right? He made a good point when he went to Carolina. Like, look, dude, I was an NFL guy. I won 6 Super Bowls. If anyone gonna have kids NFL ready, it's me. What more could you ask for, right? And I hate the Falcons every day. That the only reason they didn't hire Belichick pretty much is because Belichick was going to have no say in who they draft. Because Atlanta's always drafted great, right?
He's turned out to be really good.
He's doing really good on the bench. They could use him. Why wouldn't they put him in?
Why would you put him in when you're paying somebody $40 million a year?
Exactly.
You're not going to put him in.
Or maybe he's a 26-year-old with 2 busted knees, and we're finally realizing that.
It was a dumb pick. But
Oh, dude, I forgot CJ. Wow.
Yeah, we could have, got a pass rusher. A pass rusher would have been nice, when Jalen Carter was right there.
I'm gonna say that. Yeah, you listen to a lot of Belichick's players talk in the past, like Randy Moss. And Randy Moss, when I got there, I'm used to things being so chill. We'd win a game by 50, and Belichick would be in the dugout, in the locker room, pissed off, like, you did this wrong, you did this wrong, you did this wrong, still coaching up, wasn't happy about anything. And that's obviously what you saw him on the sideline, right? No emotion. The cutoff sleeves is so iconic. Obviously Tom Brady's the GOAT. There's no denying that. Tom Brady's also not on defense. I think the whole team aspect, I think the Belichick-Brady combination is the greatest combination in our era that we'll see. But I do think Belichick's going to...
Sorry. You just proved the point from an argument we had weeks ago.
Which one?
Defense wins championships.
Yeah, who said that? DB, remind me. Who said that?
Thanks, buddy.
Hey,
All right.
DB, who said that?
I don't think I just said defense wins championships.
You said Tom Brady doesn't play what?
And Okay, let me rephrase this.
Okay, go ahead.
Again, and I brought this up to Brandon's dad. The defense is more important than the offense, but a defense cannot win it without an offense.
Yeah, an offense can't win without defense. That's freaking right.
With 100, there was no argument there that the offense. There was no argument that defense isn't more important than offense.
2000, Jesse.
I know the year.
Y'all's
Those
argument
scored.
alone was defense wins championships by itself. You have to have an offense that can balance. You have to have counterbalance. There's no just one way. I don't care who you are.
No,
That's what I'm saying.
But you win a lot more with an A+ defense be offense than you would with an A+ offense be defense.
You got to have both.
Which one would win more?
The defense, but you got to have both.
No, I agree. Which one would win more?
Defense.
Okay.
But you can't roll a C-
No.
offense out there with an A+ defense and expect to go beat everybody.
No, it's
not gonna happen.
Literally, it's the other way too. That's why defense is more important because it wins championships.
Correct. There was no. I don't think there was ever denying the fact that defense wasn't more important. All right. So back to the point though that Belichick is a proven coach.
Oh yeah, he is. There's no denying that.
Yeah, no, I mean, you won Super Bowls in the hardest league to win a Super Bowl in.
Yeah.
Well, it's the only league you can win a
20 to
Super Bowl.
17.
Yeah, so Belichick's legit. He has struggled without Tom Brady. Tom Brady has turned out to be very important to the legacy of Bill Belichick.
Mac Jones.
Yeah,
So
they
bad.
didn't.
You apparently need first-round receivers to be good at quarterback.
Apparently,
well-
you need 4 of them to be good in college.
The first.
One to win a Heisman.
yeah, exactly. Seriously.
I don't know how successful Belichick will be at UNC. And when it first happened, I was like, he's going to be so good.
No, keep the energy you had the other week when you were trying to embarrass me in front of all the students. Keep that energy.
About what?
You know what? Keep the energy. No, don't switch up now.
No, I genuinely have no idea what you're
No,
talking about.
we were sitting in the hallway. I forgot who we were standing with. You're like, oh, dude, no, you're wrong. This Belichick hire's legit,
Oh, yeah,
man.
okay,
It's awesome.
yeah.
Keep that energy. Bye-bye.
So yeah,
Don't switch up.
when he first got hired there, I was like, this was so great by them. And I think that they're probably going to change the mold of what.
What made you change your mind?
Well, I'm getting there. Like, because they gave
Reality.
him like $10 million, right? They're paying him a buttload. They gave him like $30 million for his staff. They hired a GM, right? Like over the football program. And so like all the pieces, like the university seems like they're doing their part. But what I got to thinking about it, he's never had to develop players, right? Like he's never had to develop players. And also we saw him picking talent, especially later in his stint in New England. His ability to pick good talent kind of faded. Like he took N'Keal Harry, bust, right?
I mean, there wasn't just a random Caucasian walking the sidewalks that played
It
quarterback.
is a
that could
good
play
day to
receiver.
be a lacrosse player.
Yes,
at
it is.
UNC.
It is.
Yeah.
Like there's a freaking guy that's freaking playing lacrosse
But,
right now. It's about to be the QB, and we have no idea.
Yeah, but no, like I think when
Receiver.
I first saw he got hired, I was like, bro, this is like so smart because they've got the money and it's a good university. People want to go there. You know what I'm saying? And now they've got a dude with the name, and it's things like Jared Curtis is like he was like,
So what's the pushback?
I don't know if his success that he had 20 years ago equals success right now.
So you think it's a publicity stunt, like Dion?
I think it's a great hire by UNC. You'll have to see, can he recruit, right? I mean, like, being Bill Belichick is awesome, all right? Is that going to beat out a Dion or a Kirby?
It'll beat out of Dion.
It'll be out of Dion.
You think it'll be out of Dion? And
Oh,
it might
yeah.
be out of Dion because that's clout, right? That's clout versus
Dude,
clout.
this is a guy that's a proven winner in the NFL.
Yeah, this guy can't even win at Colorado playing bad teams.
Right. This guy's a coach.
You're
This guy
saying,
almost
hold
lost to
on,
Colorado
you're
State.
saying that
This guy against ranked teams can't win.
You don't think these kids are like, hey, let's go play for the guy that's got all
no,
the NFL
kids
connections?
kids will.
That alone is enough for recruiting. That's the biggest part.
Okay, I'll say this.
Yes and no.
The
I mean,
guy-
kids
He can
wanna win.
coach.
Kids
He-
want to win.
He can win.
And if you're a 5-star, you're not going to be like, oh, I'm going to go play for Bill Belichick because he's Bill Belichick over playing for a Kirby. I mean, like right now, I think a lot of kids that are competitors are like, well, Kirby's winning now. Like he won 2 years ago and the year before that. Like he's back in it now. Like they want to go play for a dude like that. And if you're a young cat, you look around and you're like, hey, I wasn't even born when bro won his first Super Bowl, but I was alive when, they had Mac Jones and were trash. And when he got fired, like that's what a lot of these kids. That's the latest thing they remember from Bill Belichick was he got fired.
Well, it's a good thing that they don't have Google.
I mean, no, like they know that he won Super Bowls. I'm just saying, like, I think I jumped the gun on being like, oh, it's over. Bill Belichick's going to take the throne of the ACC. I think that all the pieces are there. You have to see if he's able to be successful.
I think it was genius.
I agree, but you are such a Skip Bayless. It is unreal, dude. Can you just keep an opinion and ride with it one time? Literally, I set an argument up to like go at you, and then you're like, "Oh no, never mind. Pump the brakes. I was wrong." Shocker.
Jeez.
No, you just ruined my argument. That's what I'm more mad about.
Okay, well, sorry.
No, you're not.
I'm not. It's a dumb thing to be upset about.
Oh, even the Google back there is talking smack to you. It's okay, dude. It's all right. We know. We love you. It's fine.
I love you so.
I want to
So-
hear this UFC thing now.
I'm gonna make you keep waiting. I'm gonna make you keep jittering over there. So the NIL, this is what I think about the NIL stuff, and I think this is cool because it makes people
They were down 14.
competitive, right? And I get the idea, but I also hate the idea that it's not so much based on the nationalism in your team that you love. Like
No,
now you can get bought out and go play somewhere else and be paid for it. And I personally think there should be a cap, like kind of like a spending cap you have in the NFL.
Right, but
Like everybody has the same cap,
but the
or not everybody, but it's. I just think it has to be capped somehow.
Oh yeah.
That way you're not, say, hey, I'm going to take Arch Manning for $3.5 million, and I'm going to take this kid for $3.5 million, and this guy for $3.5 million, because at some point it might get a little lopsided because you got more spending money than the next team.
Oh, if only I could think of a league where that has happened, where these teams can just keep reaching in their pocket and buying championships. No, I can't think of a league where that's happened.
you can say the MLB like everyone else knows. You're not the smartest guy in the room. Go ahead. I'll give you a chance. Go.
I was talking about the MLB.
There you go.
The Yankees haven't won.
Yeah, or the Mets.
I'm talking about the Dodgers did it.
Yeah, but
last year.
okay, but here's what you don't understand. Like in 20 years, when we have kids and our kids are watching TV, everyone's gonna be laughing at the Dodgers and how bad they are. Like that. No, trust me, that eventually reaches a limit. That's why, like, I kind of love seeing all these idiotic teams spend this money, because what's gonna happen is Dodgers in 15 years are gonna be like, hey, why are we still paying a guy $70 million a year right now?
Because it was worth it.
Sure, then, not now.
No, you won. It was worth it. Any move you have to make to win, as long as you win, the end justifies the means.
But that's what leads to people getting fired. All right, so that GM's
I don't
gonna
care,
be
I'm
fired.
the GM now. Dude, 15 years from
I
now,
got
we're
counter
retired on the
report.
field.
Yeah.
How do you think Michigan feels right now? They won last year. How are they feeling this year? They're not winning.
And they just spend.
Isn't that the goal, to keep winning?
Yeah.
Don't just win and then not win anymore.
You take one season at a time.
Yeah, but you gotta. Again, if you're going on the one season at a time mindset,
You've already paid somebody 14 years ahead.
yeah.
Yeah, well, Michigan cheated.
You don't have the mic.
That's what they won.
Yeah, but anyways, to go back on the portal and the NIL and how it operates, I think that works to Bill Belichick's effect. All right, because I don't think he necessarily has to recruit anymore. I think it now becomes a free agency thing all over again for him in that setting. That being said, man, let me ask you this, right? We all work at, me and you work at Weiner Barrow, Bo. If an opposing school came,
not work there?
well, Jesse was looking at you. Sorry, so I didn't know if Jesse wanted to join the conversation or not. It's not a shot at you, Jesse, either. I'm sorry. All right, we work at Weiner Barrow. All right, if another school came at you right now and offered you $100,000 more for next year, would you not do it right now? So what's wrong with kids doing that? Right? If you're working at a company and someone offered you that much more money, what's wrong with a kid doing that?
They're 17 and I'm like married and want to buy a house.
That's fine,
I want that money.
right? So why don't they deserve that money, man?
No, I'm not saying that
all-
they don't deserve that money.
Well, so, like-
they do need to limit it though, because I do see what he's saying. Like same problem that they're dealing with baseball right now is
No, but like again, these schools that are doing this right now, what people don't realize,
Breaking news: the Falcons have.
I just gonna say that. That's why I took the freaking mic.
it's
dude.
fine. That's good to know. But
Say it again. I don't know if you can really hear.
The Falcons have named Michael Penix Jr. their starting quarterback.
well, go ahead and rebuild for next year. All right. So, anyways, like
More money down the drain.
again, we talk about like this cap, right? All right, we all know, right? We all have it. Money don't grow on trees. Do you really think if a team can't prove success year in year out, those boosters are going to keep giving that money?
We're about to find out with Ohio State.
Yeah, you're about to. And guess what? If you don't do it, right, what's the point of paying $20 million if you're not bringing me a natty? I'm not doing it, right? Like that, then, like it's there. Like everyone talks about restrictions, it's going to restrict itself over time. It's like Michigan and David Portnoy, whatever his name is. Like he's an idiot. He convinces some guy, hey, give this kid $3.5 million or whatever, and he hasn't even played a snap. What if that kid's like Jeremy Johnson at Auburn in 2015, and he's just a bust?
What a name.
Right? Like you think all of a sudden that booster is going to believe somebody and pay that much money again to a kid? No. Like that, these are high school athletes, obviously, so they go through a lot, but it's going to cap itself over time. It's just a wild west right now.
Right.
It's going to be civilized. You just have to give it a moment to.
Yeah. Okay. I like that. Let the storm coast off. I like it. Yeah, I mean, I also had talking about Juan Soto on here about Juan Soto getting paid. What more? Is that how much?
That's more than
Bellinger
65
just-
million more than Otani, but it's 5 years more than Otani.
Okay.
It's less a year.
But that being said, it's not back-ended. He's getting all that money at one
Yeah.
time. Soto's not going to be getting paid in 20 years like
Correct.
Otani is. And again, once again, shout out to his interpreter, right? The biggest freaking move ever by the MLB to make him take the fall.
Yeah, this is true.
Baseball's broken.
I think it is a little broken, or a lot of broken. I also don't think Juan Soto is worth that much money.
No, he hasn't been good since he was 18.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been good,
He's
but not
good.
like
He's
the
good.
MVP.
Yeah, right,
not
right,
MVP.
right, right.
He's a
Is he
superstar.
better than Acuna?
I mean, I like
Yes.
what I like about them. I don't know about that one. They're hand in hand.
They're
pretty like it.
They're pretty comparable.
I like Soto a little
I know
better.
you're like I know why you
Yeah.
like Soto more.
I like
But no, do I think Otani's better than him? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, right. So does Soto
Generational.
Right. So like again, that's thank you Mets for being stupid enough to spend that much money on him.
Dumb.
Right. Because these owners are going to keep doing this, and then they're going to look around one day and be like, "Oh my God, I'm poor, and I have 2 good players. I have to sell out."
And
now."
one of them just blew his arm out.
yeah,
That's what's
it's-
gonna end up
yeah,
happening.
Yeah, like
Something dumb like that happens in baseball. You got little.
So I don't think so
Thinks.
much there needs to be a cap. I think there needs to be a year limit.
I think you got to regulate. Also, the biggest thing that's confusing me is like all these reports of like Beck, for instance. Technically he has a red shirt available, and
COVID year.
he can still use COVID year, and apparently there's Big Ten teams reaching out to him for millions of dollars to come
I
back.
told him what you told me.
Oh,
That's
you
why.
told-
Yeah, that's why.
okay.
Well, no, but that's like on 3 reports, all that stuff,
Yeah.
and it's like for about Ewers is getting reported about
I
that.
didn't hear this from
Beck's
on
getting
three.
reported that.
I heard this from a guy that like I'm close to that lives out in Columbus.
Inside sources.
It's an inside source, and it's like I'm not saying it's us, but like this is a real rumor, like starting to go off.
All I
about
know
Carson Beck.
is that's illegal. Both those teams' seasons are not over. So if they have these offers on the table, that's literally the definition of tampering. And the fact that it's so public that there's tampering happening, like that's what would floor me as a head football coach if I was Kirby. Okay, it's hard enough to navigate the NIL era. Okay, because you're bidding. That's what you're doing. You're bidding on players.
All right, so we
But
get Justice
now
Taylor.
I have to worry about my player leaving and our season's not even over. Like Ohio State's offering him this much
I
money.
didn't say it was Ohio State.
Okay, but I'm saying like let's use Ohio State as an example. Let's say they're going after Quinn Ewers. If you're Steve Sarkisian and you're like, well, now I got to worry about this kid coming back next year because Ohio State's offering him $3 million to go play quarterback for them. But why are they even talking to him? We got to go play the Sugar Bowl. Like we haven't even played our bowl game yet.
But no, so they're Reggie Bushing it.
Yeah.
Like that's what people don't realize, right? It's not the coaching staff. These donors who are giving the money can go talk to the kids. It's different. It's not the
It
staff.
shouldn't be allowed though.
I agree,
It should
but
be, there should be a
that's
window.
No, I agree.
A free
but so
agency.
they're pretty much just Reggie Bushing the whole situation. They're
But
going
they're
to
doing
somebody.
they're doing it openly.
Yeah, and they're doing it openly, which you can. Like, and that's how it works, right? So again, I go back to what I said when we were here last time, right? You recruit the kids that want to be in your program, not the ones that want money. Justice Terry's going to be really good sitting on the bench at Texas for a year. Then he's going to be really good at USC, like Bear Alexander.
Yeah, Bear Alexander to Penn State.
Is that final?
It's not
Yeah.
final, but
But yeah, I
they're
mean, after
showing
Kirby
him the
told
most
him no
love.
like 10
Yeah.
times because he was in Athens.
Yeah, Kirby's all for getting guys, but Kirby's not going to go like deep into the pockets because he wants guys that want to be there.
Yeah.
Well, it's, Kirby's more.
That's
of a
why
culture
Kirby
guy,
will
too.
That's why Georgia will stay relevant.
That's why
Yeah.
Ohio State will continue to be because they spend money. They're good, but they'll never take the leap. They need to.
The
Right.
funniest thing
Good
is
enough to be
Bear
there.
Alexander in the like Penn State uniform with the Georgia
Georgia
tat,
tat,
and he's
yeah.
holding up. He's like this, and somebody tweeted this sums up the NIL era better
Yep.
than anything.
Yep.
But yeah, and I mean it's
Well, it's
Dumb,
also the
dumb.
same as I want to
Kids-
say. It's also the same as Reuben Foster pre-NIL era when he had the Auburn tattoo on his bicep.
Yeah.
So again, we can go way back saying money's been thrown around for a long
Well,
time.
yeah.
That's true.
it's just the kids are like kids that are really proving now that they're playing for money and for the coach. They're
Yeah.
not playing for the university. Like they could care less about the uniform they're wearing. They just need a uniform
But
to wear.
isn't a program a coach?
It's supposed to be.
Essentially.
It's supposed to be. So like I would say
Right.
like for UGA, yes. Like the Kirby because it's different. It's
You
like
set the culture.
it's different from it feels different than when Rick was there. You know, like the hard nosed like the hardest hitting football team.
militant.
Yeah, like but there's
Very
programs
militant.
out there where like let's be honest, the culture at Bama is not Kalen DeBoer, regardless of how great Kalen DeBoer is, and he's great. The culture is not Kalen DeBoer. That culture
I'm glad you
is
said this.
Saban, and that's why I think Kalen DeBoer is struggling or struggled this year.
No, it's not Saban. Do not look at me in the eyes and tell me it is a Nick Saban culture when you got these kids freaking fighting on the field.
Well, no,
they're not
so-
coachable.
What I'm
They're
saying
doing
is
what
it's
they
supposed to
want.
be a Nick Saban culture. That's what Nick Saban built at Bama. The Bama culture.
Yeah, this is a
was Nick
Kalen
Saban's
DeBoer culture.
But you don't have Nick Saban there. Like Kalen DeBoer's there, and he's different about it.
No,
So
no.
it's-
You want
that's
to
the
know what's
struggle.
different, Coach? Because I know exactly what we're about to go to. You want to know what's different? Is Kalen DeBoer can't look to his left and look at an offensive coordinator who's been next to him since 2007, all right, and a Ryan Grubb, who won him all these games,
Thank you.
all right? And now where's Ryan Grubb? He's with the Seattle Seahawks. All right, shout out my boy Greg Tassos for letting all this information known to me. All right, you want to know who Nick Saban wanted besides – he didn't want Steve Sarkisian, all right, whoever the guy they got from Notre Dame was. All right, they didn't want him. They wanted Ryan Grubb. All right, University of Washington, like DeBoer went, like, hey, I need this guy to win. All right, so they paid him.
Joe Brady was
Yeah.
at LSU.
Yes, like that was what it was. He just happened to start off at a really bad conference where DeBoer could win at Fresno State and run through it eventually during that time period. So do not tell me Kalen DeBoer's legit because he's now proven he can get a 10 wins in a regular season without Ryan Grubb. Now, small sample size, sure, but DeBoer ain't it, bro. You've been fed the Kool-Aid.
DeBoer had a
You-
better first year at
you-
Bama than Kirby had at first year at Georgia.
That's great. Did Kirby come in after Nick Saban?
No,
Okay, thank you. So,
I had to think about that one.
yeah, yeah, I know you did. It's
Kirby
fine.
also didn't walk in with Jalen Milrow, a
No.
Heisman.
Also,
Dude, he
like,
had Jacob freaking Eason,
yeah,
the like highest rated quarterback commit to Georgia since
was-
Stafford.
terrible.
Well, dude, he's
Terrible.
he's a
bad at
definition of a
football,
bust.
but I'm sure he's a great kid.
Well, he's a definition of a bust. That happens. It wasn't the type of solid offense he could run. He's a West Coast kid who came down to the Southeast and figured out what grown man football looks like, kind of like another coach right now at the University of Alabama.
Oh, that's a good connection. Jacob Eason finished up at Washington.
Yeah.
Where Kalen DeBoer was. And now Kalen DeBoer is the head coach at the University of Alabama.
Yeah, and how was DeBoer with Jacob Eason? Apples to oranges, right?
I don't know if DeBoer was there.
I don't think he was. No, I
Yeah,
think he's still playing bad teams at Fresno State.
Yeah.
All right.
He
Do me a
played great
favor,
teams
hand
at
that mic to
Washington.
Brandon, please.
Oh, we're not going to talk about the playoff games tonight.
I think we're running out of time, aren't we?
Yeah.
We've been going for like an hour and 5 minutes.
So let's all turn our attention to Brandon in the corner, who's now on the hot seat.
No, thank you.
Yeah, I love the
Um,
hot seat.
Quote, Brandon does not know combat sports.
Oh
Unquote.
yeah. Would we like to pull up my betting account that says I do know combat sports? Would we like
No,
to do that?
so this is my brother took issue with some of the things you were saying.
I hope it's the Bo Nickel one.
That was part of it, yeah.
He's trash. He's not good. Continue.
No, I wanted you to keep going.
I promise you, Bo Nickel will not win a UFC title within the next 2 years.
He might only fight twice in the next 2 years.
Exactly. But if he had to fight like Hamzat Chimaev or Robert Whitaker or any of them, he is getting demolished.
Never heard of him, but I will
You've
say-
never heard of Hamzat Chimaev?
I don't even know if you're pronouncing that right.
I mean, how have you not heard of Hamzat? Probably the best prospect in the UFC.
Yeah, I just know like.
So what else did he have issues with besides Bo Nickel? Bo Nickel's not good.
I think he just had.
He's fighting mediocre talent and not winning in spectacular form. He's struggling.
Could you take him?
I'm not freaking no. No, the dude's a freaking good wrestler, but that's all he is.
That's not a lot.
No, because he just fought a high-level grappler and he looked like crap the whole fight and barely won. He shouldn't have won.
That's all.
I'm just saying, Bo Nickel is overrated. He's not good as everybody thinks he
What
is.
did Matt say about Bo Nickel?
He didn't really say a whole lot. He just said he had problems with Brandon's takes. He had problems with all of our takes, but he said especially Brandon's.
Well, maybe you should tell him to learn UFC. If he wants to compare who's better on fight IQ, I'll do it anytime he wants to.
I think he could. Right? Is this brother that could probably?
This is the one that wrestled at University of North Carolina.
I'm not talking
Yeah.
about wrestling or any of that. If he wants to compare like betting and winning on UFC and knowing your stuff,
No one's talking about betting.
I'm just saying how that's a direct correlation with
I'm pretty
UFC.
sure
Yes, it is.
I go click random buttons and hit probably. That happens.
This isn't
First
random
time,
buttons.
the first time me and Brandon went bet for bet at Kevin Rockmore's house, I won more picks. So, and the only time.
you got to pick most of them. So
Was this,
congratulations.
Was this is this an accurate statement?
I
made
really
by
don't
Bo?
remember, but it probably was. But when
It's
I
an
met
accurate
Kevin,
statement.
when I met Kevin,
It's an
I
accurate
mean,
statement. It's an accurate statement.
He
So,
I mean, I've hit 5 big UFC parlays this year. So
I think-
anytime
I think-
anybody wants it,
I
bring
think
it
y'all
on.
should. I think y'all should wrestle for it.
I'm not wrestling a kid who wrestled at North Carolina. That's kind of stupid.
He's not even. He's freaking.
Good for him. So you want a cookie? I mean, would that give him pride to say, "Oh, I beat a kid who doesn't wrestle"? Would that make him happy?
What kind of cookie?
Chocolate chip,
That's a
peanut,
good
whatever he
cookie.
wants, peanut butter.
It's a good cookie. It's a great cookie. Yeah, you gotta get my brother in here. Y'all can debate.
I would love to debate him and tell him how wrong he is.
Really?
Yes, I will. I will let him sit right here, and I will look him in the eye and tell him Bo Nickel is trash, and your fight IQ is trash.
Were you really?
Matt.
No, you won't.
He's gonna walk in with that ear, and you're gonna be like, "I ain't messing with this guy."
Yeah.
I will
Don't
tell
mess
him
with the
to his
cockfighter.
face that Bo Nickel is trash.
Oh my god, man.
I believe that you'll do it, Brandon. I got mad respect for you. No, my brother just made a comment to me about your about our takes with sports or with combat sports. He disagreed with some of them, and he disagreed with your takes on. I'm pretty sure he was talking about Bo Nickel. He disagreed with your takes. He also said that we were wrong about a few things that we brought up.
Everybody's entitled to an opinion.
No, he said we were like factually wrong about some of the stuff we talked about. But I didn't really like read too much into it. Get him on the
UFC?
podcast, but y'all can like freaking yeah. Some of the information we were talking about apparently was false. I don't know.
Matt, I don't talk about UFC, bro. I'll let you sit over here and say nothing about it.
Yeah,
Chill out, man.
my brother was not being mean. You don't have to be mean to my brother.
I'm not being mean, but Bo Nickel's trash.
Bo Nickel's not trash. He's very good.
Bo Nickel won a UFC title. Okay. That's pretty much all I got. Is there anything else we want to close with? I know we're gonna jump back in on this on Friday. Do another one. Yeah, so we only got 2 days to re-prep for the next one. So,
Yeah.
is there anything else you guys wanted to touch up on other than the fact that Gunnar Stockton's going to be the next best thing ever at Georgia?
No.
I mean, like I said, Lenore Sellers will win Heisman next year.
Lenore, so you're all right. That before we go, everybody give me a Heisman pick. Say yours. You just said it.
I think Lenore Sellers will win the Heisman next
Heisman?
year and lead the Gamecocks to the college football playoff.
He says Heisman.
Yeah.
I don't think it's any question who I'm going to say. All right.
Yeah.
Bo's gonna say Gunnar Stockton.
Gunnar Stockton. Come on, dude. Gunnar
The
Stockton.
issue is he's going to play at the University of Georgia.
As
Yeah,
long as
I
he
agree.
doesn't get knocked out from running over everybody, I think he wins it.
But play enough fourth quarters, too.
This is true too.
You ready?
Here we go.
Do we have a choice?
He's about to say like Arch Manning or something stupid.
Garrett Nussmeyer.
Oh,
Wow.
that's
yeah,
not bad.
I knew you'd
Okay,
like that.
now-
I knew you'd like that.
Now here's my question for you: still be the QB at LSU for it?
Yeah, he'll stay at LSU because they're
I
probably
don't
gonna
think
pay
he'll
him.
win it.
Nussmeyer balled out this year, and I'm telling you,
He
if you
did.
think,
He did ball out.
I will tell you, LSU's got deep pockets too.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
they
So
yeah.
start to expect some of these wide receivers to transfer there.
have
and
more
the-
oil money than
They have a
Texas.
great offensive line. They've always had good running backs. They're gonna throw the ball all over the field, and also they're gonna be top dog in their. They're gonna be better than Bama next year. They'll be better in Texas next year.
They'll be better than
Yeah,
Carson
Texas.
Beck at Ohio State.
No, I think that's a decline. I genuinely do. Like Carson Beck's time is done. He's not gonna peak anymore. You know, like only reason he stays is because he tore his UCL, and it's like it's either you stay, make $5 million, and go, top 3 rounds the next year, or you take the 4th round that you're gonna get, and hope that you get healthy enough in time to show you can throw the ball.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the reality of it. He's down for 6 months.
Yeah.
You know?
He is. He's
And
out.
6 months from now, the draft's over.
Brandon, who's your take? Who you got winning the Heisman
I like
next
the
year?
Lenore Sellers pick also.
But
Alright, I
we need
need to change-
originality.
I need
No,
Yeah,
I've said
no,
that
no, no.
since
If
like
he's
this
saying
year.
that because he like,
You wanna change yours?
His Heisman right, then I need to change mine then because like he's a curse. So
Yeah.
one Beck and Genty neither won it. I need time to think on it. I'll come to you Friday.
I mean, I like it, but I mean, I'm trying to think of a different one too to be different from everybody. So I'm gonna need some.
Kalen DeBoer,
Oh,
first time
oh,
a coach
oh,
has ever won.
oh, you know what? Fine. I'll say it. You know what? You can have Sellers. All right. This might be a hot take. DJ Lagway.
Oh,
not a hot take at all.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Good
I
one.
like that.
Good
yeah.
one. Good one. Yeah, great one.
Yeah, I can see that.
I'm
All
trying
right.
to think of something different to be
Too
original.
bad Gunner's
I'll come back
gonna
on Friday too. with something.
Slaughter him. Sorry about it.
Travis Hunter comes back and plays quarterback.
Jeez.
He plays,
All right.
he plays
Yeah.
quarterback. He plays quarterback and defensive tackle.
And somehow finishes in the bottom percentile on all of those categories. And
And
still wins the Heisman.
Football's hard, bro.
All right. Well, good one. All right. See you guys later. Hot Dog Sports out.